Hi guys, it's Mar and welcome back to another one of my videos. I'm going to be doing a highly requested video and it is what I packed for my first year at university. In case you didn't know or you're not familiar with me, my name is Marisa Wong and I was a freshman at Western University in Ontario, Canada just last year. So I'm very fresh and I know exactly the stress that you guys are probably feeling right now, not knowing what to bring, especially with all this COVID going on, what specific things you'll need and won't need. If you are familiar with me, you probably haven't seen this background before. I'm dog sitting, so I'm in my neighbor's house. Shout out to Riley and Sydney. I don't know if you can see Lulu in the screen, but this is Lulu. She's a Bernedoodle, she's 10 months old, and she's gorgeous. Like I said, I went to Western. I was in Ontario Hall, which is one of their hybrid buildings, and I loved Ontario Hall. I liked how it was a mix of it wasn't like full apartment style where you weren't seeing as many people, and it wasn't full traditional where you had very little room to yourself. I really liked the balance. I love the people that I met there, my suite mates, my friends. I loved it. Overall, really great experience. If you have any questions about that specifically, feel free to leave them in the comments or Instagram DM me. I'll put my link in the description down below. I also filmed a room tour of my hybrid style room. I lived in a double with my roommate Abby and my suite mates Michelle and Audrey. So you can see more in depth of what Ontario Hall really looks like, and I'll link that below for you too. We're gonna go through what to pack for university. I divided it up into sections, so I'll be going through it bit by bit, but actually I'm first going to start off with what they give you. So if you see my room tour, which might be kind of important, especially if you're going to O Hall, they give you quite a lot of stuff. I have a list on my iPad, so I will be referring to that because there's a lot of stuff. Lulu, I can't pet you forever. What they give you your bed, of course. It's a raisable bed, twin extra large. That's pretty standard for a lot of dorm rooms. I know some places like Queens have queen size beds, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, that's a thing. But twin extra large is a pretty standard size bed for all dorm rooms. They also give you a bedside table. That one doesn't have a drawer at the bottom, but it does have one drawer at the top, and I kept like my melatonin and stuff in there. And then they give you a desk, and that's like the two-tier desk. There's the desk part, and then there's a little shelf on top, and underneath that shelf they actually have like a LED light. Not like a light strip like a TikTok light, but they do have like a light bar, those fluorescent ones, and they're actually quite good. Definitely only light up your desk space, of course, but they do have a light in them. They also give you the desk chair. Ours was like a weird rocking chair one that was kind of scary. If you watch the room tour, you'll know. And then they also gave us a little filing cabinet type of thing. And that I put all my books in, my loose paper, my lab coat, my calculators, all that extra type of stuff. And then they also give you a garbage can and a recycling bin with bags. OHAL provides that. But they give you all that stuff per person. And then they put one in the common room, I think. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks too on like specific things I bought that I found more useful than others, as well as things that you don't need. So make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end, because honestly, watching like my move-in vlog again and everything, I'm like, I don't know what else you could put on this list, to be honest. Like this is a complete list. So hopefully this is helpful. The first topic is like your bedroom. I would say pretty damn important is your duvet and duvet cover or your comforter. A big tip that I have if you guys want to save money for the following years, if you're moving into a house with your friends or you get a bigger bed in general, is to get a queen size duvet or comforter. That way when you move you don't have to buy a new one. The duvets can be really expensive. Mine was about $200 for a synthetic one, and then the covers are expensive as well. So that way you can save money. I just tucked it in. It was really good because my bed was a little bit high off the ground and it could cover whatever I was hiding underneath my bed. So I really recommend you get a queen size duvet. The next thing I really recommend that everyone says is a mattress topper. I got a really expensive one. It was like $250 from Bed Bath & Beyond, but it was so comfy. Zero complaints about it besides the price, but it was really good. So get a mattress topper. Another thing is a mattress protector. That way you can protect yourself from other people's germs as well as keep that mattress clean for the next person. Those blue ones, I don't know how long they've been there, but probably a while, and probably a lot of people have been on them and you don't know what people have done on them. So you definitely want a mattress protector. And then of course with that you need your sheets, you need your pillows, your pillowcases, and then I recommend getting a nice like fuzzy throw blanket. They're really good for when you need to take a nap, which I was not a nap person in high school. All of a sudden I went to university and like boom, I needed a nap like basically every day. Didn't necessarily get one every day, but I definitely needed one. The next thing I would say to get is one of those utility carts. They have them at a lot of places actually, but I got mine at IKEA. It's the black one that you'll see in the video. But yeah, super useful. We would throw like our teas and our mugs and like our cutlery and like Tupperware containers on there. Even though we did have storage in our common room with Michelle and Audrey, it was nice to have like our easy stuff there. Another thing I recommend you get is a shoe rack. Otherwise, if you have a lot of shoes or if you like are planning to like share your shoe rack with your roommate, which I did with Abby, it's a lot easier so your shoes aren't just like cluttered everywhere. Another tip that I would give is not to get under the bed storage. That was something I was debating for a long time. The bins are really expensive, and so I was like, okay, why don't I just leave it and then see if I need it when I move in. And you can do that too, but I really don't think you need one, especially if you're flying in. What Abby and I did is we would take our suitcases, and we had like the biggest ones that we had, and we would put our extra storage in there. So like clothes that it's too hot for right now, we would put in there. Things we actually never really use that much, we would put in there and then roll it under the bed. And a lot of our clothes could actually fit in the wardrobes that they gave us, which is another thing they give us. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they do give you a wardrobe. But yeah, the next thing I wrote on the list is a bedside table light or like a desk lamp. They do give you one, but I liked having a desk, like that green desk lamp. I like having that near my bed for if I'm doing my work on my bed, or like if I was just sitting in bed at night. I got that one from IKEA. And then fairy lights, of course, just for decorating. It does create quite the mood. And then a lot of people ask me what we use to keep our photos and posters on the wall, and it's just the blue tack. They sell it in the bookstore at Western. I'm sure a lot of places sell them, but it doesn't leave a mark unless it's there for like ever, which it won't be. Super easy to use, they're very inexpensive, so I get some blue tack. Moving on to like sort of where my desk is, I also got like a little vanity mirror to do my makeup in. Like swivels around, there's a light, very essential. And then I put on the list trash can optional. Even though they told us we had one, we didn't really use our personal ones that often, but mine did turn into like the GURP bucket, so we called it GURPtrude. Anytime someone needed to throw up, we give them the bucket. But I know I will be using it for next year anyways. But first year I don't say you would need one, but like see what your building specifically provides you. Then another thing that I loved having was my stool. I had like a little step stool from IKEA. Super basic one. I thought I would need it to like get into my bed, or like I use it a lot to not get in my bed, but to like look at the top of my wardrobe, or like put our bottles up there. It was really good for just like sitting on like an extra chair. I loved it. I would like put my stuff there as we were leaving. But yeah, really recommend the stool, especially if you're short. And then another thing that we used to hang up our photos or put hooks on the wall was command strips. They have command strips and then they have the hooks. I really recommend you get that, especially because you can't really nail into the wall. Another essential is extension cords. They do not give you very many plugs, so just in general, like you need to plug everything: your phone, your laptop, the lights, basically anything you can think of. Another thing I would say to bring is like a little pharmacy, so like band-aids, your like painkillers if you need them. I don't know if I brought any of that stuff, to be honest, but I'm not one to use painkillers or Tylenol or Advil, or band-aids really. So that's kind of like a more optional one. A definitely one that you need is a laundry hamper. I have this little foldable one. It was kind of difficult to carry down to the laundry rooms, but it was also really compact. So I mean, I ended up like keeping it out past January, like forever, just because like I'd throw my dirty clothes in there, and then when we come back upstairs to the laundry room, where I'd keep the bin for now, I'd like carry it back up. It was like wasn't very sturdy, hard to hold. Another thing I recommend you bring is, or buy, is batteries and a screwdriver. The cart, you needed a screwdriver. The stool, you needed a screwdriver. There's tons of things like that. And then of course you want like hangers for your wardrobe. I think we got a box of 50 and Abby and I got 25 each, and that was about right. I could probably use a little bit more, but that was like about the number that I needed. And then another thing that I recommend you do is, for the wardrobes, they have that little shelf up the top, and that's where I'd store like my socks, my underwear, my extra towels. So getting little storage baskets for that was really useful. I got some from IKEA. We got some from like Homestead/Winners. And then another thing that is like kind of, you have to talk to your roommates or your suite mates, or just like judge on yourself, but like a printer. Abby and I both didn't get a printer, and we actually didn't really need to use one that often, not for school at least. And if we did, our suite mates each had one. So many people on your floor have them, so honestly if you don't bring one, someone else will, and you'll probably end up being able to use it. Western specifically, I don't know if it's O-Hall only, but like O-Hall, I guess for me, they said not to bring a speaker, they said not to bring diffusers and salt lamps and candles, and I would say fuck that. Abby bought a speaker, and it was like a little Yui Boom, the pink round one, and that one was so good. Getting ready, such a necessary item, so really get one of those. Don't listen to what the heck they say. Abby brought her diffuser, which was really good because sometimes it just smelled really weird in there. Probably just because it was stale, I don't know. But yeah, and then we did end up getting salt lamps. They did, in fact, taste like salt. Crazy. I don't know what their problem is with salt lamps, but I love them. Apparently they improve your Wi-Fi. And then we didn't have candles, but you can definitely still bring them if you want. The next section is anything you need for food. At O-Hall in the hybrid cell room, we did have like a little kitchenette. It was basically just a sink. We put our Keurig there and like kettle there, and then we had like some food storage and some storage under the sink. So stuff like that. Of course, you can kind of cater this part to what your room already provides, but this is what I recommend you bring. First and foremost, a reusable water bottle. Not only is it better for the earth, but coming from BC where the water is pristine, going to a small town in Ontario, the water was not as nice. I'm also just like a water bitch. I have a specific water, you know what Kangen water is?
That shit is delicious, and I live off of it, and any other water is inferior.
So getting a hydro flask where I could throw ice in it, or have like the nice cold filtered water that they have down in the caf, fill it up from there, made the water taste so much better. I did not drink water for like the first month when I didn't have my hydro flask, and then I got it, and like, oh my god, what a godsend. My skin was so much better. But definitely get a hydro flask. It just makes your water taste better when it's cold, in my opinion. So another thing I recommend you bring is like a reusable tumbler. There's some that you can get for cold and hot, but I had like a collapsible one for my hot drinks, and then I make like bubble tea jars, and I brought one of those, or a couple of those actually, for like cold drinks when I wanted them. But that was good for like if I were to make something before I go to class. Another thing you should bring is reusable shopping bags. Bed Bath & Beyond, they give you a really big one, like those big Costco bags, or just like in general like little tote bags you can throw in your bag if you need to go grocery shopping. They're really good, the big ones, for like going home if you need to go home. Obviously that was not my case, I brought a suitcase, but yeah, just reusable shopping bags in general. There's like mixed opinions on this one, but like sets of dinnerware. So for me, that I got like this set of like a big plate, a bowl, and a cup, and then some like little teaspoons, and they're like bamboo plastic, and I actually used them quite a lot. I had a bowl that I would use for like instant noodles. Of course that means like cutlery as well, and the cutlery I think is useful for when you bring up food from the caf. You can eat it in your room, but of course this one's more optional. I used it a lot, but like Abby didn't have a set and she didn't use it that much, so it really depends. Another thing I really recommend you bring is a Brita filter. I actually didn't have one because I liked using the caf filtered water, So if you're at Western, there definitely is filtered calf water, which is really good. But if you like want water in your room at all times, a Brita is a really good idea. And then another thing is Tupperware. Not necessarily for calf food, because at Western they do have like the to-go containers, and I know that's pretty universal in a lot of schools now. But I would just like have Tupperware for like snacks that we had and that type of thing. And then like chip clips for your bags of your snacks. And then of course you want like your mini fridge. Coordinate that with your roommate or your suite mates. We had 2 mini fridges between the 4 of us. So me and Abby had one, and Audrey and Michelle had one. I think that's pretty essential. I don't think I need to explain that one anymore. And then a kettle. We had 2 water kettles. And then Audrey bought her coffee machine from home. And then I would say get snacks, specifically like with your parents or beforehand. Bring like some tea or some like coffee pods, some like sugar or honey, or and milk for like any coffee needs that you need, or like you come back and you want like a little tea. Cranberry juice, if you know, you know. And then a little drying rack for the side of our sink was really useful. Of course, if you're in a traditional style room, maybe not as useful, but like a little towel or mat if you have like, if you do bring your own plates and bowls. And that is kind of the end of that. Hi guys, so I didn't think I was going to do this, but I ended up having to put the video into 2 parts. So the second part will be up hopefully on Wednesday, but thanks for watching. Definitely stay tuned for the second part. The video was just too long, but yeah. Still with Lulu. Yes, I'm drinking a white claw. It's mango. Yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for part 2, and I will see you guys Wednesday, I guess. Lulu says bye.